Me as a white person doing stereotypes and then saying the N-word is something that I should have probably lost my career for.
The Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson has returned.
We make mistakes? Yes we do.
I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child in any way that was inappropriate. It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did for shock value. It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did.
And Lucy, I checked my statistics and I have a lot of child watching, so can you please eat a cocktail weenie? Do it slow. Hi. I learned piano during my break. Kidding, I didn't learn anything. Nigga!
I made like a really gross joke about like Were you trying to
Yeah.
Also, were you trying to catch a What was happening?
You're fake crying. You are fake crying. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my god.
Me as a white person doing stereotypes and then saying the N-word is something that I should have probably lost my career for.
Okay, let's talk about the exploits of Shane Dawson. Since the dawn of time, Shane Dawson has been in the middle of some of the most salacious and degrading controversies on the platform, creating a divide between those who call it edgy and those who want him deplatformed. Now, we can argue semantics about what classifies something as dark humor versus exploitation, what are simple mistakes versus intentional actions, and that cancel culture should be canceled and we should all just shut up and enjoy the show, and I'm just stringing a bunch of words together to paint an old forgotten picture. But when it comes to manipulative power abuse on millions of underage fans while normalizing racism and sexualizing kids to build a career that makes you and the platform millions of dollars over a decade only to return and seemingly exploit the massacre of indigenous people for shits and giggles and monetization and merch sales, I draw the line because, say it with me, it's not drama, it's dangerous. So let's dive face first into the redemption arc of Shane Dawson to answer the age-old question that, yeah, Shane Dawson gets away with, well, everything. But why?
I've been cancelled. You've got 54,000 likes and you've got a paddling boat in your garden.
It's something that I shouldn't even be able to get out of. I should lose everything for that.
Oh, you woman, you're the best!
We forgive quickly? How about you get to that?
Oh, hi there, hello, hi, it's my face again. Swoop, 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 swoop. So when I first sat down to collect my thoughts about Shane Dawson's return and the internet's response, honestly, as hard as I tried to be eloquent and insightful, bitch, I just kept getting petty. This is gonna be pretty raw. Kinda like that Khloe Kardashian leaked photo. Bitch, no filter. This ain't Brita, honey. You're getting it straight out the faucet today, okay? I'm sorry. You already know there is no way that I can get into this without just immediately taking us to Petty University. Yes, friends, students, Petty University, Professor Petty has entered the chat. The ghetto, bitch. Shane is back. And you see this? No, you don't, because you missed the point. I can't not be petty, okay? It's my coping mechanism. Don't come for me. Just like with all Swoop docs, I'm going to break this down into 3 parts. The audacity of Shane Dawson, the whole grain audacity of Shane Dawson, and the unmitigated gall and presumptuous audacity of Shane Dawson. I do know one thing. A first ever Swoop makeup tutorial needs to happen today because, I mean, it's Halloween, and if Shane Dawson can exploit children, black people, and the beauty community without responsibility, then I can too. I decided I'm going to deep dive into Shane's return while transforming myself into what I really think about this whole situation. So here's my inspiration. This week again, I will be making a donation to RAIN to help support victims of abuse. So just thank you for your support. Okay, back to the doc.
We say I'm sorry. Yes, we do. We make mistakes? Yes, we do.
Oh, hi there, hello, hi, it's my face again. Yes, I know. It's bald. We're gonna fix that. Let's continue. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Swoop, why are you making a makeup tutorial? Why don't you just make a doc detailing every single thing that Shane has done and compare it to his apology and talk about accountability? And honestly, my answer to that is because it doesn't matter. Y'all don't care. Not you, but like the collective internet you. At this point, I am just convinced that people do not care about influencers doing shitty things. And also, let's be honest, D'Angelo already made that video, and honestly, why f with perfection, you know? But I mean, if we were going there, I could point out what he said about Trayvon Martin. You know, the black kid who was killed while he was on his way to get a snack.
Well, maybe you wouldn't been walking around the streets if you had a job.
Or what he openly called black women with his whole chest.
Oh, nigga, bitch, monkey woman, you're the best!
Or the times he used the N-word or sold racist Shanae merch until 2020. Or when he filmed himself having inappropriate conversations with 12-year-olds.
Oh my god, can you guys see my pants? I was like itching myself and I'm not wearing any pants.
Or asked 6-year-olds to sexually eat food for his predatory audience that he acknowledged.
I checked my statistics and I have a lot of child molesters watching, so can you please eat a cocktail weenie? Do it slow.
Oh, I like that chocolate, that weenie.
But I don't need to mention that because y'all didn't forget that, right? Right? But you know, since we're on the subject, I could also mention the times where he asked kids to twerk on camera.
Oh, I love you too. Now shut up and twerk.
Twerk on each other, kissed underage fans, admitted to sexting 14-year-olds, posed extremely inappropriately for years with his underage fans, giving the photos graphic captions, talked about how he trained the children well, solicited photos from his fans knowing the vast majority of them are underage, asked for their best BJ face, O face, or birth posing pics, physically pushed minors to do sexual things on camera, culted a whole ass environment where his underage fans thought sexual behavior with him was the norm.
I want him to chew that gum and then give it to me.
In your mouth?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do it.
Oh my god.
Exploited the beauty community for millions of dollars, only to turn around and call it all toxic and leave it, and how he continued to monetize and profit from all this exploitation and harm up until being forced to take it all down just a year ago. I mean, if we're on the topic, we already knew these things, right? Oh, this looks terrible. Now, I should probably make this clear, as if it wasn't already. I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I've never turned myself into a clown before. This is probably going to be a disaster, but honestly, it can't be any more of a disaster than everything we've been witnessing on the internet, so here we go. Excellent, let's continue. Now, if we were on the subject of his return, I mean, of course, I could point out how his return video addressing everything doesn't actually address anything and how it's just another millionaire house tour showing his riches. I am dripping all over myself. This is going so well. And of course I could point out how he's doing another 3-part series during Halloween season, which is one of his most lucrative times, and YouTube probably turned back on the monetization for his channel and that's why he's back. But you already knew that. Bitch, I am preaching to the choir. But just in case, you know, I could point out how he was wearing his merch, promoting his merch sales in what was supposed to be an accountability video, but you already saw that, so I don't need to say that. Now I could point out how Shane says he's not that person and he doesn't know who that person was, but then I'd have to remind Shane that that person was you, boo. It was you. It was always you.
I wasn't even myself.
Yep. Still you.
I hate that person so much.
Still you. Oh.
I don't even know who I was at that point.
Oh no, that's still you. Now I could point out how Shane says he's changed and learned from what he's done.
Every facet of me has changed.
But then I'd also have to point out that Shane still just refers to this stuff as jokes instead of intentional.
I'm somebody who took jokes too far.
And I could point out how Shane said in his comeback video that yeah, the stuff he did was bad, but that he didn't want to take it down because it connected with people.
But I shouldn't just throw all that stuff away when it kind of got me to where I am and it also connected with people. And yeah, there was bad stuff in those videos, but like the good stuff connected with people.
He actually said that. Can't really be a changed person if you still don't want to take the shitty shit down, can you? Back to the story. So I could point out how Shane is the literal poster child of how privileged influencers use minorities as their literal punching bag to stardom, and how minorities should be quick to forgive so that they can have their redemption arcs.
We forgive quickly? How about you get to that?
So here we are. I honestly don't know how professional clowns do this every day. And no, I'm not talking about Shane Dawson. I'm talking about actual professional clowns. I look like it after he got out of the shower. I look like a powdered donut. I look like Silence of the Lambs. This is not going well. Now I can feel it. I already know that there's gonna be one ignorant comment in the comment section. So let me just go ahead and stop you right there. This is theater clown makeup, and whiteface is not a thing. Okay, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Let's continue. I don't understand why people keep making excuses for this behavior instead of like calling trash trash. Like for some reason, even when there is endless evidence of this stuff happening, like y'all hoes be like, but everyone makes mistakes. Oh, you mean these mistakes?
Oh, I'll whip your hair back and forth.
How about these mistakes?
But next time, shake your titties more.
Oh, you meant these mistakes?
I'm gonna fuck her, then I'm gonna fuck him, then I'm gonna make him react to it.
These?
If Justine wasn't watching, I would rape all of you.
Like, it's always funny to me when I see people excuse harmful behavior as just mistakes. Like, everyone makes mistakes. Oh, balls, that is in my eyes, that is in my eye. Okay, can't see out of this eye. Learn from my mistakes, bitch. Back to what I was trying to say. So let me just be really clear about this whole mistake thing really quick. Racism is not a mistake. It is an intention. Bigotry is not a mistake. It is an intention. Exploit children, not a mistake. It's an intention.
And I loved a lot of those moments, but a lot of them were like, what do we do to make it crazier? How do we make things more insane? Oh, how do we make it more shocking? Like Howard Stern.
Like, y'all remember this Twitter thread from this girl that she posted like last year who had kissed Shane at a fan meetup when she was 12 at the time? She said that Shane basically cultivated this sexual energy with his underage audience, and people attacked her saying that she asked for it and she's making it up. And first of all, bitch, we all know 12-year-olds can't consent. Have a seat. In fact, have several seats. And second of all, if you honestly don't think that he created that type of atmosphere, then how do you describe this?
There's a ton of photos he released for a meet and greet where he thought it was a good idea to pose sexually with every single kid at the meet and greet.
I mean, he literally said in his own caption, "I've raised the children well." And like, some of these pics are from 2015 when he was like 27 years old. Y'all could just leave this shit to the streets, man. Stop clowning. I'll keep clowning, you stop. And who could forget the Fred monstrosity? Like, he literally said on camera in an interview that he had sent a gross text to a 14-year-old Fred. 14! About him because Shane thought that they were planning to meet up at a hotel.
I made like a really gross joke about like him or something because I thought it was going there.
Right.
And then he blocked me. Were you trying to
Yeah.
Also, were you trying to catch a predator? Like, what was happening?
Yeah, what was going on?
I don't know.
I'm telling y'all hoes, if this was like some random CEO or like a football player, canceled wouldn't even be the word for what would happen to that person. Like, canceled would be like a warm, fuzzy hug. But for whatever reason, because it's Shane, folks just seem to forget all this stuff. This looks like shit. This is awful. It's in my eye. It doesn't look like blue. I don't know what's happening. Okay, yeah, great. Let me keep going.
The end of the world, and everything felt like the worst thing ever.
I think we're just gonna have to accept the fact that my clown face is gonna look awful. Okay, accepted, let's continue. I'm sorry, but even with the makeup in my eye, I cannot be the only one seeing this. So like, he literally says, I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child in any way that was appropriate.
I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child, like in seriousness. I would never talk about a child in any way that was inappropriate.
And then proceeds to say that that is something that I did.
It's not something I would ever do. It is something I did for shock value.
Like, that is not something I would ever do. But also, bitch, that's something I did. It's just like, how do we have it both ways here? And bitch, my favorite part, he gives us this tiny little qualifier, seriousness.
I am not somebody who would ever talk about a child, like in seriousness.
He's literally saying that because I call them jokes, it's not serious, it's not real, so it's fine. I'll just do it for like 10 years, but it's fine.
It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did. It is not something I would ever do. It is something I did.
Like, what in the Harry Styles gluten-free, sugar-free, whole wheat toast on a sesame seed bun audacity are we talking about, hun? Like, Shane, honey, listen. You can't do this shit for a decade and then say it's not real. Like, that's low-key gaslighting. Like, you can't say that you would never do this and then in the same breath say that you did do it, but like you would never do it, but like you did do it, but like it was only for shock value.
How do we make it more shocking? I wasn't even myself.
Listen, like the very reason that you refer to something like that as shock value means that you knew what you were doing was wrong and it was intentional. Again, racism exploitation is intentional. And like, don't think that I didn't catch the fact that that's the same shit that your pal Jeffree Star said when he was excusing his racist past.
I said really horrible, vicious things back to people to hurt them, to harm them, to shock them.
I'm telling you, birds of a feather flock together, bitch. I guess we all chickens in this coop. I don't know what the hell that meant. Let's continue. You know what, Shane? I'm glad that you get to call black women bitch, monkey woman, and become a multi-millionaire. Get that bag, sis. Yeet yeet, no cap for real, for real. And I am incredibly thankful that he did in fact issue an apology, because now he can tell us all how this has affected him personally and how thankful he is that all this happened so that he didn't have to endure the stress of knowing what to upload next, and so that he could finally find out who his real friends are. I'm not joking. He actually said that.
So grateful that I got canceled, because it really changed my life. It showed me what I care about, it showed me what matters, it showed me I don't need to be on YouTube all the time, I don't need to be trying to think of the next idea, the next whatever, to be happy.
You know what, pull out the Accutane, bitch. We finally have clarity. Now, one of the top comments that I saw on Shane's video over and over again was this whole thing about he's changed. And like, I have just one question for you. How do you know? Like seriously, how do you know? Because he said so?
And that's not me anymore.
And I know the follow-up for me saying how do you know is always going to be because he hasn't made blackface videos in several years and he hasn't said inappropriate things to kids, at least publicly, in a while, which is true. But we have to remember that he was in fact profiting and monetizing off of all of it way up until his last video, wasn't he? So like, what does that mean? That's 1.18 billion views worth that he was profiting off of. So then my next question naturally is, does a changed person profit off of the shit that they say they've changed from? And since no one seems to really talk about this, Shane only took those videos down after being called out and after YouTube demonetized his entire channels, which, like, knowing YouTube, most likely came with the condition that he had to remove that content, because as we see in his newest video, he didn't want to take it down.
And now looking back, there's jokes in them and there's things in them that like I would never do now. But I shouldn't just throw all that stuff away when it kind of got me to where I am. And yeah, there was bad stuff in those videos, but like the good stuff connected with people. And I can't just throw that away. That's weird.
The guy who's changed so much didn't want to take down the problematic blackface child exploitation content. So you tell me, is it change?
And I can't just throw that away. That's weird.
Or is it getting caught and not being able to make money off of it anymore? Because there is a difference there. So, you know, if we want to hopscotch along and get in an entanglement, Jada Pinkett style. Oh shit, I just realized he actually did kind of get in an entanglement with Jada Pinkett. Y'all remember when Shane exploited 11-year-old Willow Smith and Jada called it out? Anywho, so let's just focus on what he refers to as his growth and changed period, the last couple of years, with all the docu-series he's done as a changed person. You know, the docu-series he did around other extremely problematic influencers who also have super racist pasts, like Tana Mojo and Jeffree Star, for the sake of manipulating a redemption arc for them and excusing away their actions with little to no accountability so that they all can make a big profit. That change? Yeah, okay, let's go ahead and talk about that. And while we're at it, let's also talk about going on a live stream and calling it an emotional outburst you couldn't control, while simultaneously having the wherewithal to wait for more people to enter the chat.
Oh my god, I'm gonna wait till as many people get in here as possible.
So that you could maximize the abuse and then berate a woman in real time when she mentions being assaulted and call her a liar with fake tears.
This is insane.
As a victim of abuse myself.
Oh my god. You are so manipulative. You are fake crying. That is not real. Oh my god.
Because God forbid we give space to real victims of abuse when your focus is to only give space to abusers who cry about the consequences of their own actions, making things tough for them. Paint me impressed. Or paint me real shittily. One of the two is happening here. Pretty sure it's the latter. I would just like to go ahead and formally apologize to all clowns. Bless me, clowns, for I have sinned. I look atrocious. I'm sorry. Whew. Whew, child, you know what? Okay, Professor Petty needs to ease the burden, bitch. This wide load is heavy on your girl. Jesus, take the wheel. So let me take a moment and pass the Petty baton onto some internet comments and see what they have to say. I think it's easy for fans of Shane to distance themselves from the truth of the fact that he had some really disgusting relations with underage people, especially if it's not something that's happened to them. But as a victim of someone like this, it messes you up for life and needs to be taken seriously, not joked about in a video about his house, which he bought with the money earned from these videos, which included some really awful things. Very astute comment, I would say. Here's another one. I just don't know why people who canceled him are now acting like he's a changed man. Like, you don't disappear for a year and change completely. Like, I think accountability and change should be proven over time. And when the transgressions happened over the course of a decade, it may have to be proven for a long time, with the caveat being you may never know if someone really has changed, especially when they've got PR teams crafting their every move online now. Like, they may not change, they may just get smarter with what they do publicly online. And sadly, in my experience with some influencers, those who've been microaggressively racist or abused their power really know how to keep that behind the scenes and present a wholesome front to their audiences. Kind of just like a fly, like they really know their way around piles of shit and how to hide the stink, you know what I mean? But I guess the question is, like, what do you do? You know? Pretty sure if I try to talk while doing this next part, I'm really gonna f this up. Now, I should probably make something clear about what I think about canceling someone. I basically think cancel culture, like, it doesn't exist. Like no one is ever really, like, canceled. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a trendy word that people throw around at this point. I mean, shit, like, not even Ted Bundy got canceled. Well, I guess technically the electric chair canceled him, but, like, even Ted Bundy, like, super murdery, creepy, awful Ted Bundy has a huge fan base and pen pals and shit. Like, it's weird, because can you imagine? Oh my gosh, Ted, will you be my lover? Like, ugh. But I will say though, people love to confuse accountability culture for cancel culture, and it ain't the same thing, honey. But you know, aside from all of this, Shane in his infinite splendor manages to joke about being canceled like a grillion times in his comeback video.
I learned piano during my break. Kidding, I didn't learn anything. We make mistakes? Uh-huh. Yes, we do.
But honestly, bitch, wait, hold up. How many subscribers did you have after you were canceled? Bitch, listen, the foolery, like, y'all can leave this shit for the streets. Like, 20 million people stayed following this man. Like, y'all, okay, whatever, I'm over it. But since we're on the subject of canceling, I do think that there are also instances where cancel culture is not only selective, but at times performative outrage at its finest. Like, the internet goes through these cycles where someone is exposed for doing something shitty, but the majority of people aren't upset by it until it becomes trendy to be upset by it, so everyone floods in and is outraged by their actions. So then of course the influencers ghost the internet for a specified period of time and then returns, and the majority of everyone else has basically forgotten or moved on or excused it all away without any real accountability, and the influencer is largely off the hook for what they did simply because they disappeared for a while. So like in those times, my question is, what happened to all the outrage? Like, all the influencer did was disappear so that you would forget. And let's be real, this is why shit doesn't change. Like, round and round we go. Can't wait for the next influencer redemption arc. Let me pull up my list and see who's up on deck. Oh, goody. Can't wait for that one. And then on top of all of that, bitch, listen. The selective redemption, bitch. I can't keep up. So like, people out here are really soaking up everything Shane says every 3 to 5 business days, but James Charles? Bitch. People be like, I am so glad that Shane is back. I don't care about the racism and years worth of exploiting kids, but James, with his Snapchat DMs, oh, James can never return. Like, honey, funny. Like, y'all know that you can't cherry pick this shit, right? Like, you can't call one sour grapes and the other cherry pie. Like, it all tastes the same. Like, it's all trash. Accountability is accountability. It's not like, oh, he did really bad, but like, he did really bad too, but like, I like his stuff better, so like, this is fine, but that's bad. You know what I mean? You can't, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't, but what do I know? I'm just a little clown over here, okay? Minding my own business.
New me is ready to paddle. Yeah, I checked. The weight limit's 800 pounds, thank God.
So let's talk about some of the other things I see in the comments. The good person defense. So people are like, oh, but Shane is a good person. And like, maybe he is. I hope that, honestly, after all the shit that he's done, I hope he is a good person now. But also, like, how do you know he's a good person? Because he says he is?
Hoping people know I'm a good person. That is not me. That has never been me. I am not a hateful person.
You know, the thing is, good people usually don't have to keep telling you that they're a good person. But, you know, at least he's got jokes.
We forgive quickly. How about you get to that?
How about you forgive me quickly? How about you get over it? It's a joke. See, the thing is, Shane made millions of dollars for it, for all of this. And still, to this day, in this haunting return video that he posts, he didn't want to take the harmful exploitative content down, which he continued to profit from because it connected with people. Like, that's totally worth continuing to harm marginalized people because it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect people who look like me. Bitch, this clown is coming together now. Yes, bitch, yes. Ha! Can't f me now. We got them cheeks. Woo! It's not that serious, Swoop. You might think I'm having an existential crisis right now, and I just have one question for you. What was your first clue? You know, I remember D'Angelo in his quintessential video that he has since taken down, saying the following, and it was a good point. I mean, of course it was a good point. It came out of D'Angelo's mouth. Anyways, he basically said that people are defending the persona of Shane, not actually Shane. And all you have to do is just compare what he has done with the idea of him that people have, that he's this good, great, wonderful person who would never harm a fly, that they have crafted in their heads, because the two things don't match. And honestly, the reality is he's never actually once talked in full about all of the heinous shit that he's done as expected. Like, he's only brushed a few things in very general terms in his taking accountability video, and in this haunting thing even less. And wait, hold up a second, hold up, wait. Did he? Are the comments turned off on that video? Off, bitch, really? Like, y'all hoes mean to tell me that in Shane's video called Taking Accountability, that he turned off the comment section, which is the very place that people would even be able to voice their call for accountability? Bitch, listen, bitch, listen. Okay, Petty University is lit today, I am telling y'all. Can you imagine screwing up with someone and then going to them to apologize, vomit up a whole ass excuse, and then like staple their mouth shut so they couldn't respond? Professor Petty has seen it all today, child, let me tell you. The horror. So we move on from that illustrious display of accountability to the follow-up a year later, where he didn't actually detail anything as returned. Bitch, the only thing that returned was my return to sender seals. Like I said before, most people forgot all of the things that he did. They'll remember like a couple of things, but they forget like the colossal monsoon of it, or they don't care. So like, why draw attention to it? It's kind of like influencers who delete their apologies, right? Like they leave it up for a little bit and then it's gone, like poof, just gone. They delete them hoping you'll just forget that they ever did shit that needed to be apologized for. And so it's like, is that accountability? When you delete it, did you not mean it? Was the apology real? I guess it wasn't, because now it's gone. But you know, praise the Lord in the high heavens, because one thing with him stays consistent. Saying, I don't know who that person was.
I wasn't even myself. I don't even know who I was at that point.
Like, that person was you, bitch!
I wasn't even myself.
Not even Olivia Benson herself can solve this case with that kind of witness. You just disappeared. I don't know who that person was. I didn't see it. I don't know who that person was. Are we taking accountability if we're just constantly, well, I don't know who that person was. That was somebody else. Boom. Bank shot. Cause you ballin' bigger than LeBron, bitch. Rihanna already told on you.
Like blah, blah, blah.
Oh no. Another person just left an angry comment on this video. I can feel it in my bones. They just out here. I mean, listen, to everyone shouting out the side of their mouth that Shane has apologized several times, like, I could point out that in his accountability video, he literally said his past apologies were only done out of fear and therefore trash.
Yes, I apologize for a lot of them, but I'm 31, almost 32. Those apologies suck. I don't know who that person is anymore.
Like, I don't know why, but some folks are just so thirsty to let the problematic influencer keep their power that they'll be excusing shit that not even the influencer is excusing. And that's saying a lot because these hoes got excuses like Jay-Z had problems. 99 excuses. And again, like, I want to believe that he is now a good person. And now listen, like, I get the strategy here of why Shane posted this house tour vlogs series thing. Like, it's the oldest trick in the book, right? Like, instead of making a dedicated video apologizing in detail about the things and finally acknowledging all the stuff that you did, you tuck a few vague statements in the middle of a random video, or you tuck it inside a sympathy video about your feelings so that you distract from addressing the fact that it was your actions that put you in this position in the first place. I'd like to make an official statement as Shane's PR person. Yeah, his videos harmed already marginalized groups and took advantage of children, but like, that only really affects black people and people of color and minors, so like, who cares? So here we are. I guess just like everyone involved in this situation, I've finally completed my look. Honestly, I think I've never looked better. Just give me all the gold stars, bitch. I feel like the manifestation of my one true final self, or my living nightmare. Could go either way. Yeet. Wait, I just realized I forgot brows. It's a makeup tutorial, I can't forget brows. Bitches love brows in makeup tutorials. Should we be a happy clown or a sad clown? Let's go with happy clown. There we go, that's a happy clown. You couldn't make me sad if you tried, bitch. You know what, even in my clown makeup, I can't get my brows even. Ain't that about a bitch? Actually, I think there's one more thing I should add that would just really complete this look. There, that's much better. Okay, glad I did this. Wow. You know, after all of this work that I put in on this video, at least now when I see influencers behaving badly and the comments that follow, I now have a proper response face. Yes, it was racist, but it was a different time then. It's not my apology to accept, but you just need to get over it. I was in a dark place. I don't know who that person was. You know, when people keep vomiting up the argument that it was just dark humor, it was a different time then, like, just say you were racist or didn't mind manipulating kids and loved the content. Like, damn, like,
oh, damn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because it was blurted it out. I did not mean it that way.
Like, honestly, you can't actually stand by that argument without looking like my face right now. Saying it was a different time then is lightweight, a microaggressive, intentionally ignorant way to dismiss and invalidate the people and communities that were harmed. Just because it doesn't affect you because you're in a privileged class. It is a privilege to say it was a different time then. That means it didn't impact you the way it did everybody else. I already explained this in my video about my experiences with glam and gore, so I'll insert that clip here because I think it's worth repeating. To give you guys examples of what microaggressions are, there's this really great illustration of this iceberg where at the top you see the obvious, like hate crimes, the N-word, blackface, but it's the stuff underneath the surface that actually make up most of systemic racism, and these are things like weaponizing white privilege, cultural appropriation, tone policing, the virtuous victim, saying things like, but what about me? And this stuff often goes unchecked, which is why racism is so alive and well. Okay, class, my wonderful petty university students. So now that we have a refreshed understanding of microaggressions and why saying it was a different time then is problematic, let's check in on what my good friend Keemstar had to say about all this.
The edgy jokes and, you know, the stuff that he did, that he got exposed for, would never fly in a 2020, 2019, 2021 time period. But the time period in which they did take place in, which is like 2009, 2011, 2012, he didn't get canceled for it. You wanna know why he didn't get canceled? Because back then when people heard an edgy joke, dare I say it, they laughed. He's one of the greatest YouTubers of all time. I crack jokes to him in private text about him fucking a cat. That shit's funny.
Oh my gosh, is this actually a Keemstar makeup tutorial? For those of you who might need a clown translator for what Keemstar said about blackface and child exploitation being nothing more than a joke because it was a different time, then fear not, friends, I can help with that. I'm a clown now. Translation. This antiquated asshattery of an argument that excuses everything that's happened to marginalized communities and apparently children and apparently cats because it was a different time then. That's like saying that it was totally cool that black people and women couldn't vote for like ever, and that interracial marriage was against the law, that transphobic slurs were used in school, or that they segregate the damn bus because it was a different time then, so it's all good. It literally completely erases those it affects, which, by the way, it affects everyone, and diminishes an entire community for the sake of making others comfortable in being a racism apologist, I guess we're gonna call it. Here's a not so revolutionary thought. Instead of saying it was a different time then, how about saying, videos like Shane's were a modern minstrel show and super harmful to kids. I don't understand why we're still excusing that. And like, why was the platform okay with this happening for a decade? Like, why did we give it our money? And you know, if y'all want the real tea, like straight drip, no saccharine tea, accountability does not actually come with a guaranteed promise of forgiveness. Like, taking full, specific accountability is the right thing to do, but it does not exonerate you from what you've done. It does not promise that you'll be returned everything you may have lost while taking accountability. I do believe forgiveness and learning and growing and moving forward is a healthy, obviously, thing that we should be looking to do, but it's not something that you can expect, if that makes sense. Now, these are obviously my personal thoughts, but I kind of think that, like, if you actively, publicly harm people and then monetize and profit off the harm, then like maybe as part of your accountability, I want to see you actively, publicly atone for that abuse by publicly supporting, donating, and physically helping those communities and children that you harmed for at least as much accumulative time as you were hurting them. But bitch, maybe that's just me, I don't know. I just kind of feel like if y'all are gonna become millionaires off this shit, then no hiding behind the shadows of like, I worked on myself privately, because honestly, like, we should all be doing that anyways. But if you have no problem profiting off of this for a decade and only apologize after you're caught and your monetization is stripped, then as I see it, you better have no problem joining community outreach programs and victim advocacy groups and regularly posting public content in support of those same communities that you took advantage of. Like, what a concept, right? I mean, he did say that he should lose everything for what he's done. I mean, he said it, not me.
It's something that I shouldn't even be able to get out of. I should lose everything for that. Me as a white person wearing a wig and playing a character and doing stereotypes and then saying the N-word is something that I should have probably lost my career for.
Like, okay, then why not donate every cent you made off of the problematic shit? Because as someone who would never do those things in seriousness, then you'd never want to profit off of it, right? Sound good? Okay, great, glad that's settled.
We say I'm sorry. Don't worry, I'll get to that. We make mistakes. Yes, we do. We forgive quickly. How about you get to that?
How do I put this lightly? Powerful influencers of a certain color know that they will never be canceled. Like, it's built into the system. It's designed that way. Like, YouTube literally designed the trending tab that way because at its core, it makes them money. But he knows that cancel culture isn't real. That's why he's able to joke about it so much. And so real accountability doesn't actually have to happen as long as you calculate, time it right, test the waters, drop your hints, tease your audience, talk about how scared you are, the eggshells, and then jump back in when the time is right. And I think what I keep personally coming back to is, what are the platforms telling us when they reward this behavior? I mean, they're basically saying, like, if you abuse Black and people of color and kids, you'll have a long and prosperous career. I mean, look at Jeffree Star and Tana Mojo. I mean, shit, like, we'll even put you on the trending tab again and again when it's a problem, and then when you return. Like, those with the power, the money, the looks, the famous friends, the flex, they'll stay on top, like influencing millions no matter what happens, and these platforms kind of see to it. And something that not many want to talk about is the fact that there is culpability with the audience and the platforms. Like, you know, like the platform was not only okay with someone posting blackface, the N-word, Asian and Hispanic stereotyping attacks, and predatory behavior towards kids. The platform was not only okay with that, but it promoted it. It monetized it. Advertisers put ads on it, making people like Shane literal millionaires. And not only did Shane profit off of all of it all the way up until the reckoning of 2020, but the platform did as well. And the platform didn't turn monetization off until the public outcry reached such a fever pitch last year. So where is the accountability for the platform not only allowing this to make millions, but making millions on it as well? But I don't think I'm supposed to ask those questions, am I? You know, in regards to that, I think it's perpetuating what I call the Great Divide. When these platforms continue to reward this shit, it's literally splitting these platforms into segregated categories. Those who are a part of marginalized communities and those who take advantage of them. Like, it's kind of that simple at the end of the day. And then reward his return by placing his videos on trending twice in a row. Because remember, y'all, the trending tab is curated and hand selected by the platform. It's not random. It's not actually what's trending, it's what they choose to promote. It's intentional. So what is this teaching us? Like, what is the lesson from the platform? And did y'all also know that Shane deleted another 11.5 million video views on October 8th, right before his return video? Like, I don't know what that was, but like, are we still hiding shit before coming back? I don't know, let me know. Instead of going silent and like, I'm never gonna talk about this again kind of thing, let's have a conversation that could maybe educate people, that could help these communities, that could change the way influencer drama influences people's lives. I'm getting tired of seeing these missed opportunity where these influencers do really problematic things, people call for accountability, maybe they apologize, maybe they don't, maybe they apologize to the way people want to hear it, maybe they don't, but when they return, they don't do anything positive to repair the damage in the communities. They don't continue the conversation so that people can learn, like, here's what I learned about why it was problematic, here's why I was doing it, here's how I learned to do better, here's what I'm going to do better, and here is me actively trying to do better. Like, I just don't understand why those examples aren't out there. So I would love to sit down and talk with influencers together who have been in these situations and say, like, yo, let's break it down, let's deal with it, and then let's see how we can do better as creators for this platform and for the people that we do influence. Child, if ever there was a time we needed a kitten palate cleanser after all that. Hi pork, say hi pork, say hi pork chop. Oh, who's this? Come here, little moose. Y'all getting so big. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram where I will be giving some exclusive sneak peeks at the new Petty University merch, which is coming so soon. Oh my gosh, I just got the samples and y'all, it looks so good. You're gonna love it. I cannot wait for you guys to get it. And comment on this photo with the clown emoji so that I know that you came from this video. A couple of Twitter shout outs from my veneers doc, taking it back. This one goes to Malcolm, who said, honestly, seeing a video like this and seeing how vulnerable Swoop really made herself had me thinking about my own insecurities and have me thinking about how to take my power back. Yes, we love to hear it. Also, seeing Mama Swoop reacting was pure serotonin. Love to see it, yes. We love Miss Mama Swoop. Also, you know what? I'm gonna link Mama Swoop's channel, Miss Darling Arts, in the description below. She is this close. Y'all, she's been working so hard on her channel, like bless her heart. She is this close to getting monetization on her channel. She just needs some people to play her playlist of videos. So I will link her playlist in the description if you guys want to play it a little bit. She's been working so hard. And if you want to talk about unproblematic, go ahead and stand that queen, okay? You guys both want to say, here's Automobile and Pork Chop. Say hi. Say hi, babies. Another Twitter shout out to Trinity, who said, the fear of online harassment or having to answer questions about why my teeth look as crap as they do have stopped me from posting pictures of myself online altogether. Thank you for giving me hope that they can look better and not ruin me financially. I'm so happy that you enjoyed the doc and that it gave you some hope. If you haven't seen my veneers doc, it's a lot of fun. It's positive, it's a good time, and I'll link it down below as well. And if you want to be my next shout out, just follow me on Twitter at SpankyV and retweet this video right here. Be sure to click the link below to check out Established Titles at establishedtitles.com/swoop and use code SWOOP10 to get 10% off right now. Be sure to check out adamandeve.com and use code SWOOP to get 50% off one item and free shipping in the US and Canada. Some exclusions apply, and treat yourself, honey. Okay, here's the thing. I'm not some gatekeeper here. Like, Shane can and will do whatever he wants. I mean, he's built his career off of literally doing whatever he wants. And you know I've said this a zillion times, but I will say it again. Please pay attention to the behaviors of the people you choose to watch and follow and fan. And remember that just because someone has big numbers doesn't mean everything they put out in the world is inherently safe. Previously problematic influencers are going to have comebacks. They always do. And they'll be welcomed back by the majority of their viewers no matter what they've done. That's just how this works. And often that's the easy route, the road where nothing changes in this game. I think if you're gonna come back, then build something to replace and improve what you destroyed. And remember, as a viewer, influencers only have as much power as you give them by tuning in. If we don't continue to support problematic behavior, then the behavior doesn't have a platform to be problematic on. But you know what? Y'all already got this. Class dismissed. Swoop!